Hello, Tim and Lorraine from Fair Play Now on the 24th of December 2021, and I thought we'd just do a woman's perspective video again. The last one went down pretty well, so here she is, my wife Lorraine, and well, might as well just kick off.
Yep.
What do you think of all the latest nonsense that's happened with the scariant that starts with O?
So predictable and a bit disappointing, but because right from the beginning, where it's supposed to have originated from, they said that it was no worse than a common cold.
Yeah.
And of course we had to go, well, might not be, we'll have to take supreme measures. And people have never tested themselves as much as they are now, and then they're wondering why there's so many cases.
Yeah.
Because people are now having to test all over the place. So I think that's quite bad, I think.
Yeah, wasn't there a friend of yours or one of the people you work with, two of them were meeting up, and then they wanted, even though they're meeting up with their kids or something, they wanted to do the
So we went to my work's Christmas lunch, and one of them was saying that that's when the one that said she wasn't going to hug anyone because she didn't know who'd been and who hadn't. So she wasn't going back straight home afterwards because her husband apparently is vulnerable.
Right.
Although technically I am.
Yeah.
Because I have asthma. But anyway,
Yeah.
never mind. So she was spending the night round the friends.
But
before going back home, she was going to take a test.
Oh, right, okay.
And then one of my other colleagues said, oh yeah, I test for everything. I test myself constantly.
So this is what's going on.
Yeah.
Slightest sniffle, out comes the old...
And she didn't even have a sniffle. She just met with other people.
Oh, right, well, yeah, not even that. Yeah.
So this, the one I'm talking about,
Yeah.
she just met with other people. So...
So the whole sort of thing that starts with T is rife, that's where we're getting the so-called numbers from. It's just
Yeah. I mean, it would
crazy,
be nice to
isn't it?
see the, not that you ever will, but it would be nice to see percentages, how many people are texting compared to previous months.
Yeah.
And how many of those are positive or negative.
Yeah, exactly. Yes. Yeah.
But we'll never know that. But I think it's they're trying to get control back. And I heard this week, been speaking to so many different people, like my hairdresser, and I went to a salon, I was speaking to a lady there, and so many people now are saying that they're not having the rooster.
Yeah. Yeah.
And
can't afford another lockdown either.
No.
Certainly your the lady you go to for all your pedicures and stuff, that's what she said, wasn't it?
She said that, yeah, because all her savings are gone now.
Yeah.
She used all her savings during the last one, so now she doesn't have a backup.
Yeah.
If anything goes wrong, she doesn't have a backup.
No, that's right.
And yeah, I just think it's enough is enough now. And funnily enough, right at the beginning of all this, I watched a documentary, which I can't find now, is on Netflix, and it was about COVID.
Yeah.
And that was saying that a virus doesn't want to kill people. So what happens is, if it does kill people, it will eventually mutate. And its main aim is to be as transmissible as possible, affect as many people as possible, to spread itself around, but it doesn't want to kill you because then it stops its own spread. And interesting enough, we were speaking to somebody in the restaurant the other night, weren't we?
Yeah.
And she was saying she's got a scientist friend who said exactly that this scariant isn't bad. Because it's done what viruses do.
Yeah.
It's mutated to be more transmissible, but less lethal.
Yeah. So.
But I did have a bit of a frustrating conversation with my mum.
Oh yeah, on Saturday, wasn't it? Yeah.
Yeah. well, not only Saturday, but she was concerned about coming here for Christmas and kept saying, well, we'll see. But also I went round there on my birthday to see her, and she was saying that, of course, it's only the younger people now that are getting it. And I said, Mum, that's not how they work. They don't have a brain. They don't pick on age groups.
No.
And then she said, well, of course, less of them have had that. And I was thinking, well, from what the mainstream misleadia suggest, that's not the case.
No.
Most of them have had their second and have been offered boosters.
Yeah.
So I'm not sure. I find it frustrating, and I said to, as I
Can't
said
talk
to
to
you,
these people,
no,
can you?
I said to
Yeah.
you the other day, I need to wind my neck in.
Yeah.
When Mum says stuff, I just need to let her say it, but not necessarily respond.
Yeah, we've got three days with her coming up, haven't we? So we'll have to wait and see what transpires from that. We'll try and hold the peace.
And I think a lot of it is just she's concerned for us as well, because she does believe it, and the same with your mum. They're concerned for us because they believe everything.
But you think we've made it this far now, sort of nearly 2 years.
Yeah.
Sort of kind of going out and about, sort of rubbing shoulders.
Yeah, but
with...
my mum said, "Well, don't speak too soon." When I said that to her.
Oh dear.
So that was a bit awkward.
Yeah, God. So obviously this whole scariant that starts with O kind of is involved. Well, these things. I bet you were delighted with the reaction.
I'm so pleased to see them back. But you know, it was funny. I took my friend to Sainsbury's because she'd had to cancel her food delivery because she had an appointment, which then in itself got cancelled. And I happily happened to have the afternoon off. So I said, oh, well, I'll take you. And I was literally the only person in the whole of Sainsbury's that wasn't.
Yeah, and it was pretty crowded, wasn't it, as well?
Yeah.
Quite a big Sainsbury's, quite crowded.
And then, funnily enough, I had to pop back in the next day to the same store just because I wanted to I'd forgotten something, and there was me and one other person.
Yeah.
So that was better odds. But it was still busy. It was actually busier the second time.
Yeah.
But yeah, just me and one other.
Yeah, it would have been nice to have seen, I don't know, maybe 25% of people not wearing them. But...
Yeah. I mean, I've been to the post office today, even though I found out that the post office is shut. And there was 5 of us in there, 2 women, obviously one of them was me, and 3 men, and only the women were face napped.
Oh, the other lady was not napped.
I reckon she was quite elderly. I reckon she probably had issues.
Yeah,
but nonetheless, how hilarious that the weaker sex, so-called, were the ones without the...
I think that's...
but then I went into the co-op.
Men, isn't it?
And I was the only one.
Yeah. Oh, dear. And, well, obviously another consequence of the O thing has been, the Parliament vote last week, the disgraceful Parliament vote.
Oh, God, they've been dying to get that in, haven't they?
Yeah, the V pass, obviously.
But I tend to think, bearing in mind that they can't order a piss up in a brewery, I wonder how that will actually transpire.
Well, yeah. I was thinking... You know, we're not great at organising, are we, in the UK, in this country? And, people aren't interested in playing the sort of Gestapo officer on the whole, are they? No. Kind of outside the shops and restaurants and stuff. So,
and even the most people who seemed the most behind what was happening weren't even doing the track and trace.
No, that's true. And there's a lot of people who don't agree with the V pass, even if they're fairly well.
I mean, my mum, your mum, my sister, they say no. There's no reason for it. If they're doing what it's doing, there's literally no reason. For us to be excluded.
No, it's sort of. It just beggars belief, and it just shows you that
I think what you say though is quite true, because because my hairdresser said she's only had it, but she might not have the third, but she's only had it to so she can have a normal life, and she can take part in stuff.
Yeah.
And then, but I think the whole passport thing is just to create fear, in the hope that you'll think, oh dear me, I couldn't go to a stadium anymore.
Yeah.
Maybe I'll go and have it.
Yeah, I think, well, wasn't there, there's one of those hot mic escapades with, it wasn't one of our politicians, I think, I want to say it was Israel, but I could be wrong on that, but they were sort of like on one of these sort of, where they didn't realise the mic was on, and they sort of said it's all about, the V-Pass thing's all about sort of getting people to have that rather than any kind of health reason. So, So that's really from the horse's mouth.
Yeah.
So if that story was true, I think it's true. But
well, that's it. So there's, it's crazy. I think bearing in mind that flu's quite a big killer of people.
Yeah.
I mean, nobody ever questioned whether we'd had that or not.
No.
Nobody felt the need, did they?
No.
Also, I've been bullied for years at work for taking time off sick when I've had a cold.
Yeah.
So for me, this is weird. So I've gone in.
Yes.
Because a company I used to work at, it used to be if you had 3 separate incidents of sickness in a 6-month period, you get disciplinary.
Yeah.
So I've had years of just trying to fight against being ill, and now suddenly people are, because they've had a positive test, are now being forced to stay at home and not go to work but feel perfectly fine.
Yeah.
And that whole thing is alien to me.
Yeah, it's just absolutely ideal excuse to have a few days off, really, a few days of paid leave, if you're an employed person. Yeah.
So, it's very strange. Yeah. Strange times.
Any other comments that you want to
No, just that I feel that more and more people are coming out with comments that 3 months ago they wouldn't have.
Yeah.
That they were fed up with this, it's going on too long. All that. I mean, just a couple of months ago, they wouldn't be wondering whether they're going to continue having.
Yeah.
And one of my friends said she wouldn't ever let her children have it.
Yeah, and that's
telling,
isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah. Actually, on that sort of vein, I think I'll end this with a little thing I've got here. Yeah, so what Lorraine was saying, and this is a good thing to finish up on, because she was saying just there that people seem to be waking up, and this is a little thing that cropped up on one of my Telegram feeds here, so I'll just read it out. Hello my friends, I wanted to share some good news today. It's given me some hope anyway. So today my son was playing football. One of the other dads is a paramedic who administers at a particular place, a major centre for that, and near Horsham. Needless to say, we haven't spoken much until now. Anyway, we started chatting and I was polite and honest in my opinions and said I would never take he said the following gems. 1, the centre for that is nowhere near as busy as previously, and lots of people haven't turned up for their bookings. 2, he agrees the best thing Whitty could have done for the nation is tell people to lose weight and take certain vitamins. And number 3, best until last, he is now questioning the Papa Charlie Romeo thing. He thinks it's nonsense. What this means, people, is that even the civilian Lurgy army is starting to ask questions. It really cheered me up. There aren't as many drones as we might otherwise think. Let's keep the candle of hope lit, while of course continuing to resist.
Aww.
And that was fantastic.
That's really heartening, isn't it?
Yeah, and it kind of
goes.
goes.
But that kind of goes, because that's kind of my feeling.
Yeah, I think.
Well.
Yeah, they are starting to wake up in big numbers out there now.
Yeah.
So I think with that little Christmas Eve message of hope, we'll leave it.
Yep.
Have a great Christmas, everybody. And it's Tim and Lorraine from Fair Play Now. Thanks for watching.